Okay, good morning, everyone. So this workshop is establishing a positive learning environment by a virtual world, presented by Kate Cox. And Kate is a nationally board certified physical educator. 2017, she was the California Aford Middle School Teacher of the Year and the 2018 Shape America Southwest District Middle School Teacher of the Year. She's an instructional coach for the Health and Physical Education Collaborative and has worked with the California Subject Matter Projects for Health and Physical Education. She's a teacher of 4th through 8th grade physical education at Corte Madera School in Portola Valley. So Kate, take it away.
All right. Thank you for the intro. It's great to see everyone here. I just wanted to, it's nice to get to know. If you could actually enter in the chat right now for me, I'm just kind of curious what you're hoping to get out of this PD. This is, I got to be honest, this is the first time I presented to.
So Kate, I'm sorry. Before you enter that for Kate, can I just ask everyone to please take the attendance by entering your information in the chat? I forgot that. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, you're good.
Good to go on that now. All right, let me do another screen share then. Let's see, desktop one. Okay. Yes, awesome. So if you could just enter in the chat really briefly. I'm curious to see what you're all hoping to get out of this. I was looking for new ways to support PE. Awesome. So that's a great thing. Thank you, Murphy, for sharing that. So that's exactly, well, that's the hope for today, is that's what we're going to get through. My hope is that you're going to gather ideas to help cultivate connection in these virtual class world, because I think it is such a new place. It's such a, especially, and I'm not sure entirely if you're all virtual or if it's a hybrid. My current situation, I am our whole district over in California here. We are all virtual at least through the first semester, through mid-January. So I've started off, I actually, it's been going great. It's different than the spring. Fortunately, we're like over that like crisis teaching, and now I feel like we're actually teaching. So that's kind of exciting. And I think the other piece is send down to the teachers to help them. Great. So I think part of that is understanding ways to engage and assess students, because part of this whole thing is right now more than ever, it's critical that the students enjoy movement, right? And I saw this from Castle this summer, and I think it makes so much sense that when physically distancing is necessary, that social emotional piece is even more important than it ever has been. And so having that the focus on SEL infused into our content, I think really makes a difference, because connection is the biggest thing. And connection, like literally and physically, I have this little saying I've been saying for a while, but I truly think it comes in close now. Like, in order to get to the Bloom's higher taxonomy, students need Maslow in order to bloom. But before they even need that, they need the basic, they need Wi-Fi. And I've noticed that so far with my my own students. If they don't have a good solid Wi-Fi, they don't have a great connection, they don't have a way to physically get in the class, it's hard to participate. So, but then moving on, this whole thing is about establishing a positive environment, right? And that's essential, because if the students feel comfortable and engaged in our classes, they're more likely to actually participate. Like, I do my best to make class somewhere that they want to be, not somewhere that they have to be. And I think that's a big difference. Like the fun factor, making it safe for everyone. And even I think something interesting to think about that I've been kind of mulling over the last few years is that our class is the only class that your skills or lack thereof are visible to anyone else in the class. And I would say, you know, even in an online environment, if you're doing any physical activity, people can see that. And so you want to make a comfortable and safe environment where people feel the opportunity, they feel like they want to. So one of the first things I did with my classes, I'm going to run this as a participatory based session where we're going to be going through things. So I'm hoping some of you will be able to share your screens and do this because I feel like if you experience it, then it's a little bit easier to do that. So one of the first things I did was something called the object representation. So I'm like, hey, you got 15 seconds to go grab something and you're going to bring it back that is going to be an object that represents something you want to share with us about you. So like I went, for example, and I said, like, I have my crayons or my pens here, and I have these because I like to be creative. I like to add a little color. I like to add a little fun to things. So add the spice, add the color. So like these crayons represent me. So if anyone is willing to share your screen and have an object that you can, you're willing to use to describe yourself very briefly, that would be awesome.
I'm always willing to participate. This is Murphy.
Awesome. Thanks, Murphy.
I'm fortunate enough to have this shelf in my office that I like to, because I don't like to clutter at home, that I bring in my race medals. And here is my USA Triathlon Age Group Championship medal that I received when I competed in Wisconsin. And I'm missing that very much, seeing that New York has a travel ban, that I didn't get to go to World Championships this year. So just thought that was a cool thing that I grabbed off my shelf to share.
Awesome. Well, thank you for doing that. And so by whatever they choose to share, a lot of times I find out, so like Murphy likes to participate and you like the challenge of it. So I know now a little something. And so it's easy, it's like low stress, and they can choose to share what they want about themselves. Right. And so I wouldn't go through a whole class. I pick a couple, usually do like a spin, like a random wheel thing. And then, but it's a great way to get to know a little bit about them. And then I always share a few times myself just so that they can get to know me. Cause I think the connection goes both ways. Did anyone else want to share? I appreciate the one. No. All right.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Yeah. The question was just, it was object representation. So if there's something that's near you, you could grab to use to share a little bit about yourself. So my example was of these pens. They're the colorful pens because I like to add color and spice, not just black and white, try to make things fun and a little bit more engaging. So anything that describes you is that way. And it's okay if you don't.
I jump in. Shannon, very similar to you, I have very limited resources because I am actually stuck on quarantine right now. So this is my kind of notebook that I like to try and do, fun colors, you know, especially bring it for observation so the kids, you know, kind of connect with. They're like, oh, you know, she still uses colorful notebooks just for fun things.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, limited resources, add the color. I love it. All right, so the next thing I want to take you through is, and hopefully you can all do this and help participate. This is going to be, I'm going to put it in the chat here. There's a link to a Jamboard, and Jamboard is something that I have just discovered. I think it's a relatively new Google product, and I don't know if your teachers are using it or not, but it is something that has been awesome. So if you can click the link, it will be far more exciting. I can share my screen anyway, so if you're not fully participating, that you can still see what we're doing.
Kate, may I ask you a technology question? It's Michael.
Yep.
When you click, I've never done it before. When you click on that link that you put in the chat, what happens to the screen?
To my screen or to your screen?
To what I'm seeing. I thought I would lose the Zoom thing. I don't know.
Okay, so you do not lose the Zoom thing. You can do one of two things. You can either, depending upon the device, you can do a split screen. So you can make it so you can see both the Zoom and the Jamboard. I actually like, I don't tell the kids that because I prefer that they focus on the Jamboard itself and don't worry about the people, because they'll be able to interact anyway with the students or with the other people on the chat. So this is what I am seeing, which I believe is also what you'll see if you're in it. And so on this, I'll give you a little tour. On the very bottom, there's a highlighter. So if you can, it'll give you a little highlight thing, but then it also goes away so that it's, you know, if you want to highlight something. And then there's tools. There's a pen tool on the very top. There's an eraser. There's an arrow that helps you move things. There's this thing called the sticky note, which is what we're going to do. There is, so if you click on that, you can type your name. So I'm going to type my name here. You click save, and then it comes up. And then it always, unfortunately, it always comes up in this same spot, but I'm going to move it. So we're going to play a little this or that. This is another like simple kind of choice activity. So would you prefer to call someone or text someone? So if you're on the document right now, if you click the fourth one down, the sticky note, you'll get your name. And then if you could just drag your sticky note to, would you prefer to call someone or text someone?
Just happened here.
All right. Give a little wait time. Are there questions on how to do it?
Mine just didn't want to work somehow, but that's okay.
Yeah, you have to give us access to edit.
Oh, you know what? I'm super sorry. I'm so glad that, I'm actually really glad that happened.
Yeah, it says view only.
Yes. Okay. So are you able to see my screen where I don't know if you can see the sharing. So I am now making edit privileges. So you now all can edit. And I apologize. So the good and the bad of the Jamboard is that everyone has editing access and editing privileges. So if you don't want anyone to have it, so this is a great opportunity to talk about digital citizenship as well, because anyone can change what I have, just like a Google Doc. Anyone can change or edit or add. And so now you should all have the editing privileges. And then if you click the sticky note, yep, so I see Sue. And then Sue, if you can, yep, just drag. If you click on it, then you can drag yours wherever you would like, if you're more of a call or a text. And some people are a little bit in between. So I think it's a great, there's a lot of ways a lot of things you can do with this. So, yep, and that's interesting, Murphy. I totally agree. A lot of times I actually prefer the call personally, and I could say why, this is another way. So I could say, oh, so Shannon, you prefer to text. Do you mind unmuting and sharing with us why you prefer to text over call?
Sometimes I just find I can multitask faster via
Yeah.
text because I could be contacting a bunch of people rather than just one isolated person at a time.
Yeah, that's great. So a lot of times people, they have their reasons. Like I would say, and for me, I like to call because I like to have those connections, and often in a text, the emotion I want to elicit does not always come through. So if I want to construe something that has emotion, I want to be sure I can actually call and talk to that person. So again, when you click on yours, the drawback is that you could potentially, like I could move Sue over here. Oh, funny, isn't that funny? But it's not. So you can talk about digital citizenship. Now, also with the Jamboard up here, at the top, you'll see it looks like a little bit of an index card, and there's a number 1 through 20. So if you toggle over to the right screen, use the little right frame arrow, you'll see one that says cardio versus weights. And we'll do just the same thing. You can also you probably figured out that you can change the color of the sticky note. And again, I wouldn't do.
What do you do if your sticky note doesn't seem to work?
So your sticky note is not working?
or I'm doing something wrong. I'm clicking the thing on the right where you showed me. I click on that, but I don't seem to anything happen.
So when you click on sticky note, are you able to see when I click on?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, so you can see where it says green sticky note here.
Right now, I just see you change the colors of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I wonder, can you screen share, and then I can see potentially?
Screen share. Okay.
I think. Let me see if you have that. One at a time. Yeah. So all
Okay.
yeah, should be able to, because I think it's a cool.
Am I doing it? Did it
You
work?
are screen sharing now. So all I see right now is your desktop.
Let's see where it is. Oh, I don't know where it all went.
Probably in Chrome. I tell you what, I will if you go back to the chat, or I can re-put it. If you just click the link
All right.
again.
I think I got it there now. Is that it?
Yep, that's it. Oh, I wonder, because yours says view only. That would be why you, that is very bizarre.
Oh, I got it.
Refresh your screen. Yeah, if you, okay, he's got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully, if you refresh, you should be able to get it. And then with that, let's see. Did you? I'm trying to. I wanna help you with it. But
Well,
yeah.
I don't want you to take too much time out. You
Yeah.
can.
So if you refresh and it still doesn't come up, there we go. Now you should be able to do it. Click that.
Okay.
Now we're set. Perfect. All right. And then for everyone else, if you don't mind after that, if you stop the screen share, then I can get my desktop back.
Is that done? No?
Yeah, I'll help you with that. All right. So I am going to go ahead and re-screen share, and that will help get it back. Okay, so we have people halfway in between, which is cool. On the weights, we have cardio weights. Yeah, I like to do a little bit of everything. And then you can also do it where they just put it on a side, or you can do it like this, where they're kind of in between. So that's one way you can use Jamboard. If we toggle over to this next one, we're a relatively small group. So I'll just, rather than do this and put you in breakout rooms like I would with my students, or I did with my students, we can just do this together. So this is a little bit of a word scramble. And so taking this you're going to need to use each and every single letter in this word scramble. And in order to make this happen, we're going to spell a word. So everyone has the power to move. So this is a little bit about the communication, the consensus building. So I know that you're on mute because we're in one large thing, but for this, we might want to unmute and share our thoughts about, if you have an idea, where should we move it? And we'll just do it for about a minute. We'll see if we can get it. If otherwise, just so you get the experience of it, so I can share some more ideas as well. Anyone? All right. So I will help us out. I'll tell you that the first letter is going to be I. So if we move an I over here, anyone else want to see?
Should we be seeing that screen right now? I see just the gallery view. I don't see anything.
It's on your Jamboard. If you toggle over.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I can reshare it. But this way, if you're on your own, then you're actually able to move it. And so that's what I do.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh, look how fast we are. Very good. So this is a great way that I do it. Once they figure it out, then I say, okay, great. Now there's also a text box feature on the almost to last one. So I would have that group go ahead and click a text box and then write a definition in here in this text box. So I'm going to click text box, and then we're going to write a definition in here of what do you think inclusion means to you in this class, right? So it's kind of just a warm up, but it gets them communicating, it gets them talking about figuring out the problem. And I do it in breakout rooms. And then for me, I have the slides open. I can see by group where they are and how far they are. So I'll join a group and say, oh, like the first letter is I, oh, the last letter is N, or whatever, to give them some help if they need it, right? And so I'm gonna reshare. So if you're not familiar, or if you just toggle over, I wasn't sure how many we would need. So if you go to the almost last screen, I wanted to show you one more kind of team building one. So screen Jamboard number 20 or 19 out of 20. And I will reshare this. I'll share it on my screen so that you can see it. So here, this is a code breaker, right? And this is, again, is another one of those like kind of the cooperative activities that you can do. All of these letters here. So if you're on slide 19, you would see this, or I can do it. I can move it for us. We're going to have to spell each column, each colored column has a singular letter, and you're going to figure out the code by moving this square. And I would say yes or no. And if it's correct, that is the first letter. So we have the first letter in this 6-letter word is going to be one of these on the left. So if anyone would like to take a stab at moving, just click with their arrow, take this and cover it. Yes, that is correct. And so from here, you can either go to the A, the T, or the N. So you can only go like up diagonal, across, or down diagonal. There's only 3 options. So anyone else want to go for the next one? Incorrect. So we got E is the first letter. Now we're down to either T or N. Correct. So E-N. Correct. E-N-G. Incorrect. Correct. E-N-G, A, correct, G, and E, correct. So we have figured out the code, and the code was engage. And so with that, then I would ask the students, what does that mean? Again, what does it mean to engage in this class? And how is your engagement? How does it help you? How does it help the class? How does that build this positive environment that we are looking for? So a lot of it is just gamifying ways with the technology for them to, I get my point across, they get their point across, and they have fun playing a game as they're doing it. So I'm going to go back to my my slides here, and I will share a few other things. So some of this, like so far, has been very like kind of sedentary and in front of the screen. Because I got to be honest, I have just 40-minute classes, and in my 40-minute classes, I don't have the ability to, 40 minutes nonstop, because I need them to stay in the screen view. That's a lot of movement for 40 minutes for me over and over and over. So I do the first few minutes is like an intro activity. I have music playing and there's a question of the day. Then we do a fitness activity for probably anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes. And then there's some sort of kind of content or some sort of other challenge that they're doing. But we might start off with, again, this whole would you rather. And so for this, it would be a physical option. So this would be like a warm up as we begin class. Would you rather have a growth mindset or be resilient? So rather than take your sticky and put it on one side or the other, they're going to just physically copy whichever one that their response would be. So they have to pick one and they're moving. And then like, this is one I did the other day. And then I talked about, would you rather be inspirational or would you rather be tenacious? And then they decide, we have a little conversation about why. And then that was actually an intro to this whole program I have going, this whole idea of grit. Grit's a term that we all talk about. It's something like, oh yeah, I need my kids to have grit. It's kind of, I don't know, it's a newer thing, at least in California. It's this trait we really want people to have. So I kind of broke it down, made the acronym, I made badges. So I teach 4th through 8th grade, and I gotta say, these kids, like, they eat it up. So I have this, we went over, we explained. So G, growth, that's going to be demonstrating a commitment to your individual, improving your individual skills and your personal fitness, right? Because this is what we're looking for in this class. The E is the embrace challenge. You work through your challenges and you learn from your mistakes. So are we going to be perfect? No, but we don't give up. That's what we learn and we move on. That's what's helpful. The inspiration, that you're modeling the highest level of effort, and you motivate others in our class by actively participating, like being in camera so that people can see. And then, are you tenacious? Do you demonstrate that determination to succeed? So with this, I shared this poster in classroom with all of them. They know it. And then every so often, sometimes multiple times a day, I will take a moment, especially if I'm frustrated with, I don't know, a few kids who are not being as engaged. I will take the opportunity to email a badge to one of the kids that is doing one of these things. I will email them the badge and their parents and just say, hey, this is what, your kid, this is what I saw you demonstrate in class. It's been awesome. So, you get this, you were inspiration, you were really working hard. I could see that you were inspiring others through the way you were working and encouraging others. So they might get the inspiration badge, and then it's a positive one for them. And I've also allowed students to kind of give shout outs and to recognize other class members for any of these different growth badges, this grit or whatever they're noticing in class. And it's the whole idea of like catching them, catching kids being good, but it's them catching themselves doing it. So that's kind of fun. All right, so another activity, I'm going to stop sharing for just a second here. How familiar are you with Pear Deck? Do you all use that? Okay, so this is another tool that is super great for getting information from the students. So one of the activities I did was talk about this whole idea of having a comfort zone, right? So what is it to have a comfort zone? So I'm not sure if everyone's fully on, but I would, if anyone would like to unmute, or I could share, or Sue, since you're always willing to share, it sounds like, would you tell us what does it mean to be in your comfort zone?
To have a zippity doo dah day like I'm having since I woke up this morning.
Fantastic. So a zippity doo dah day. And so you're comfortable, you feel good with everything that's going on. That's
everything
great.
In the world is great.
Excellent. That's nice when that happens. Yes, I will share the presentation with you. Let's see how I was going to do that. I meant to make a bit.ly, but I will certainly at the end, I will have my email, or I can send it to Jessica and she can send it out. That's probably better. Yes, I can do that. And then, so for the next, this next one, this Pear Deck, anyway, so we're going to go through the comfort zone. And we're going to kind of define it. So to me, a comfort zone is where it's easy peasy. I have full success. I have I have the confidence. I know what I'm doing. I feel good. And then the stretch and the learning zone would be where it's like my +1. That's where I want to get. And then the danger panic zone is going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to share, I should reshare my screen so you all can see this. So this one. All right. So with this, you can see, so this is my regular Google Slides. And then there's an add-on called Pear Deck. So I go to add-on, Pear Deck, and then I open it, and I've already done so. So it's a tool on the right side that pops up, and it allows you to do different things. You can have the students type in different text. They can do, like there can be a choice board. It can be numbers. I've chosen to do the draggable ones. You can also have them draw on it. So it's a little bit like a Kahoot, where once you say start lesson, it's going to give you a choice. So you could assign something asynchronously so that it's a self-paced one, or I'm going to do the instructor-paced one and show you, because I think this is great if you have synchronous classes. So it's going to launch this, and then it's going to give us a code in a moment here. So if you could on your own go to another browser tab and enter at the top, what you see is joinpd.com. And then this is the code. Once you get there, you're going to enter PURTJY. Cool. So we got one. If anyone else wants to join, then you have the opportunity to see. Got a couple. And then I will also open my dashboard over here. So I did click open the dashboard just so that this is, as a teacher, you have a couple of other options, and I'll show you that as well. So we went to this slide. So I started it. Now, this is all part of the same one, but we're going to go to this comfort zone. So if you joined the class, and if you have not already joined but would like to see it on this like a participant side, you can still join. The QR or the join code is PURTJY. And if you did join, you would see right now a blue star, and I would ask for you to take that blue star and drag it if representing where you feel for mountain biking. Is that part of your comfort zone? Is that your learning zone? Or is that the panic zone? And so what you see is you only see, what I like is you only see as a student or as a participant, you only see yours. But as a teacher, if you open dashboard, I can see who, where people are feeling for mountain biking, right? And then you can also lock their screens. There's a lot of options you have. I can also create a new prompt in here, but for simplicity purposes, we're just gonna stick with this one. And then we're gonna do one more. I'm gonna toggle over so your screen should automatically be toggled. And we're gonna do the same one. How do you feel about singing and dancing in front of a crowd? And we will just show the responses. All right, we got the danger zone, the panic zone. Awesome. So you can see how this would work. And it gives you information. You can also download the responses. You can see who is who. If they're signed in to my domain, I can see which star represents which child. So I could say, oh, this is a panic zone. But the whole idea of this comfort zone conversation is to talk a little bit about what does it mean to be in your comfort zone. So ideally in class, we want to be in that yellow, that stretch zone. That's our Goldilocks zone. That's our zone that we're comfort zone. You're really not learning anything. We're not getting it. We're not improving. We're not getting better. So we want to be in that stretch zone. If we're in the danger panic zone, we're like frozen. We are not really going to be able to get as much as that we can. So if we are in the danger zone for this singing and dancing in front of a crowd, how can we, what as a class or what as I as a teacher or what is you as an individual, what can we do to help you get into that stretch zone? Like what would help you feel a little bit more comfortable, right? So if we did that with the Pear Deck, it's going to be super difficult to do this with only a couple people. I would love to show you. So this has been super, super awesome. It's this thing called Movement Cam. It's kind of the idea of like dance cam in, or a kiss cam. If you've ever been to a ballpark, you know what I'm talking about. They'll just randomly pan people on the big screen and they'll see. So we're going to play what I call Movement Cam. I'm going to put on some music, and then if you're willing to participate, if your camera is on, it allows me to do in Zoom what's called Spotlight You. And the deal is that you won't know that you are being spotlighted. And so it's kind of fun that people pop up. And then if you are the leader, you're going to lead us in a movement. It's a movement of your choice. The movement might be like a jumping jacks. It might be like a sprinkler move. It might be the floss. It's going to be something that you're going to lead. And whoever, it's like basically follow the leader, but you call it Movement Cam and they like it. So I'll just put it on, put on some music here. And Sue, our gracious volunteer, might be the only person willing to, or maybe James. So I'm going to put her on Spotlight. So what shows up when I spotlight is she should show up big. So you would just follow, like everyone should follow along. And then what's nice for me, the kids are on and then we're following. And then I could change, cancel that, but I'm going to spotlight. Now we're going to go to James. Oh, we're going to sit and he should be big. And then, right, like, oh yeah, see, there we go. And then he's going, and then we might make it over. Now Michael's going to be in. Oh, and then if you're big, like the idea would be that they're going to, yeah, there we go. You got to do something. It's a great way. Now, I will say, so that's the idea. They like, I mean, with students, they got the music going. It's just fun. It's happy. And they love the Movement Cam. And you can do that with almost anything, but you have to, in order to be able to spotlight someone, they have to have their screen on. If their screen's off, you're not able to spotlight that person, just as an aside.
I have a question. Do these things work in Microsoft Teams?
If you're using Zoom, do you use
No,
Zoom?
we use Teams. That's the only thing we're permitted to use.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I am completely unfamiliar. So I have never used Teams. Zoom and Meet are my two worlds that I've done. So maybe, and if not, I mean, you can't in Google Meet, you don't have that same option. But I'll do a random, you can still do something similar. You have like a randomizer and I'm like, okay, everyone pin Sue, everyone pin so-and-so. And it takes a little bit of the surprise away, but they still get that opportunity. And then they get the opportunity to lead. But what I was going to say too, is that I use that also. I did it one of the first days. I just said, hey, we're going to do this. And it was an opportunity to talk about, okay, let's go back to that comfort zone. For some of you, you were in the panic zone, and it was fun because you could see, it came on and it was like, oh my God, I froze. But the opportunity was there, and that you had, you could do jumping jacks. And I gave them a default. If you don't know what to do, if it comes on you and you freeze, just do jumping jacks. And so I could see we actually did a lot of jumping jacks that day because it came on. But it was an opportunity to talk about, some people are camera shy and it's really kind of hard to be in front of the camera. Some people love it. They would love the spotlight on them the entire time. So the way we are virtually, we're all going to be on camera. And so we kind of have to make the most of it. So we're going to kind of just get familiar, in little segments of being in the spotlight, right? It's your turn to shine. And so kind of turning it into a positive for them. Talking about that was one of the things. I have a few other things I want to show you. There's definitely not enough time to do everything. So I'm trying to see what I would want to do. Rather than have you do it, I'm just going to show you something that was super it actually also was great. I did this thing called the masked selfie. So I made my own masked selfie here, and it's just a piece of paper, right, that you fold in a certain way. So you put it on and it's your mask, right? Because this is a whole new world. And behind the mask, there's a lot of things that you don't see, right? Like I have a mask on right now. You really, can you spotlight if you are the only, hold on 1 second. You can only spotlight if you are the host, that is correct. So co-host would not allow that. And if you have other questions, please feel free to put them in chat or ask out loud. I don't mind. So with this, like you can't see a lot what's behind. So there's a lot hidden. And so we don't want to hide behind the mask. And if we open it up, there's actually a lot. So if you can see, these are my character traits. Like I love to play basketball. I'm all about hearts. I like to hike. You know, I'm playful, I'm active, I'm all these things. So it was an opportunity for them to kind of share a little bit about them. And they had their little mask templates, and they did it, and they popped it open and they explained it. And they did that in Flipgrid. And now I have all of these things. And again, they only share what they want. It's a little bit like that object representation. There's that.
Is anybody experienced the district telling people that they can't force kids to have the camera on for kind of like reporting issues for mandated reporter that could be going on behind the scenes?
Are you saying, have they said they have to have them on, or they don't have to have them on?
They
don't have to have them on.
Correct. I have heard many districts that say that they don't have to. For me, our district, they actually do have to have their cameras on. And it's just something that it's the way they're going. They have to have their cameras on. They said, it could look like this, like you could see the top of your hair, but we need to be able to see that you're physically there, because they're tracking engagement. Because that's something we have to report in California is, are they there? Are they present? Are they engaged? So if they're not, I think it's a whole other can of worms, but I think the way that the mandated reporting piece is another question. That's a totally different beast in terms of what you might suspect happening behind the screen, literally. But I think in terms of tracking engagement, there are other ways, like having them turn in other assignments or type in the chat. If you're here, I would love for you to know this, or you can enter in the chat, you can put in a Google form, or you can enter things that they have to do there and then, that even if it's not on screen, that there might be something. So if they're not physically there in front of the screen, like they just have it on, they're logged in, but they're in another room, they wouldn't be able to click on it and enter it, even though, it doesn't require them to be on a screen. Not sure that answered your question, but I don't know if anyone else is having that. So I did want to take you through, if you happen to have a piece of scratch paper with you, you can do this. And if you have scissors, even better. It was something I call the snowflake, which has been great opportunity to talk about following directions, listening, following directions. So for this, the object of this, or the whole point of this, is I'm going to give you directions. You're going to do your best to follow along, and you can ask no clarifying questions. All right. So once I begin explaining, you're just going to interpret what you think I mean by this. So if you have a piece of paper, go ahead and fold it in half. Great. Now fold it in half again. And then take the top right corner, line it up with the bottom left corner, and make a fold. And then you're going to, if you have scissors, you could make a cut. If you don't, you can just tear it. I would like you to try to tear out a little piece of the right side. Okay, and just for simplicity purposes, we're going to go ahead and open that up right now. Open up your paper and we'll do a reveal. Like when I do this actually with the students, it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, reveal. So this is what mine looks like. Oh, wow. See, yeah, we all have different ones. And I call it snowflake because no one is better than any other, right? But and we're all unique, and that's the whole point of it. But then you also can talk about, so how was that? Like, you couldn't ask any clarifying questions. I wasn't very clear. I wasn't clear on purpose. I go through more and I have them do more cuts. And they're actually really cool what they come up with. And I said, you know, in this opportunity, in this environment, we're all going to do the best we can. I just want you to do your best. And if you're doing your best and you're trying to follow the directions, like that's what I'm after. That's what I'd really like to see. So we kind of all have to make an attempt for us to do that. So do your best and we'll all be happy. And the whole idea of the snowflake is it's unique, just like you, just like me. And with the snowflakes, we're all going to bring our unique powers, and that's what's going to make class interesting and engaging. So we're perfect like we are. You can get into a little bit of SEL like that too. Now I wanted to go down a few slides here, and I'm going to share my my screen. Look at the link here. I will just share, well, I'll share my screen, but also I will share the link with you in 1 second here. So there's a thing called Flippity. I don't know if you've ever heard of Flippity. It's a website that has templates that make you look like you're this super techie person, but really you don't have to be. So I'm going to put in the chat here. So you can click on that and you will see exactly what I am seeing. And then I'm also going to screen share for those who might not want to do that. So, all right, oops, where'd it go? For the bingo, this is Flippity Bingo. So what is interesting about this is that everyone will have the same, it comes from a spreadsheet. And I've entered in different activities, but also different questions. And the way I use this, I had students in breakout rooms and they had to ask questions and they were going for a blackout, right? And so they can click new board if they want. But what's cool about this is that if you take your mouse and you click over something, so if you ask a question like who slept under the stars and when and where did you do that? Then if someone shared that, all you do is click and it fills it for you. Right. And let's say we're asking questions and we come up with nothing. If we decide, or as a group, we're going to do 5 burpees, we got that one. And then maybe, you know, we're doing whatever. So you can do different activities. You can click, if you accidentally click the wrong one, you can click again and take it away. All right. So this is, again, you can add in, like, the template is there in Flippity. It's like limitless possibilities. I have another one that I did that was just straight. I can share that one too, I think. That one was just straight activity. It was no questions. And so we did that as a warm up. And that was actually really fun and really engaging. And it's what I like to call camouflage fitness. And I'll send that here. I'll send that link to you as well. So as you play that one, it was, okay, we're going to try, let me get it. I'll put it in the chat here. So for this one, I'll reshare my screen. I got to put it down. So for this one, it was just all activity, and they could choose. And the way everyone could play against each other, I said, okay, click new board at the bottom, click new board, new board, new board. It's the same things. It just changes the order of which they have it. So the first, like, okay, we're going to put music on and you're going to pick any level you want and you're going to try to get across, bingo across. So you got to do 5, any row, pick a row, and you try to get bingo across. And then we did that. And then, okay, great. Now that we have a cross, we're going to try to get anyone going down, any arrow. Great. And then we got those, and you can clear by hitting the bottom button. Now we're going to go for a blackout, right? And so that was a really, like, it's just kind of a fun, engaging camouflage fitness way for them to participate in a bunch of different activities. I know we only have a couple minutes, and I wanted to show you, like, probably 2 more things here. Are you familiar with Edpuzzle as well? Edpuzzle, no. Okay, so I will just screen share my Edpuzzle. So Edpuzzle is another opportunity to access information. It's great for asynchronous, but it's also good for synchronous learning for review or things where it's video driven. Let me reshare. Let me get back to that here. So talking about the SEL piece, I will see if I can do that. Let me get to screen share and I'll show you exactly what it looks like on my end and on the student end. So here we have, this is the Edpuzzle. What I like about Edpuzzle is that you can import any video from YouTube, or when you go to your content, you can create your own content. And so if you go to my content, it's all things that I have made, where it's my videos and things like that. So if we go back to where we just were, here's one that I made, and it's talking about like see, feel, and hear. What are things? What do you see? How does that make you feel? What does it make you think? So
Could you share the link?
During the women's 400-meter run,
the link, yes,
one of the runners
I will.
tripped
Just
and made the other fall.
one
and in a moment of respect, both of them helped each other get back up.
So this is just an example. They're watching this. What does it feel like? The thing about Edpuzzle is you'll see at the bottom, there are different questions, and it automatically pauses the video and it forces you to write that. So what did I see? Like someone fall. And then next question, what did you think about when you saw that? Like, oh, felt bad, whatever. And then next question. So they have to answer the questions. You can say like they have to answer it before, they can't skip them, or they can. There are like kind of limitless possibilities. Like another one I did that was my own video was, I can screen share one more time, and then it's going to be time. So here's another one real quick that I did, and I'll just show you at the bottom. You can see these are different questions that I asked. So what was the ultimate goal? So it was me doing the intro, and then there's different questions that you can ask, and then along the way. So, and then they submit that. And then once they submit, they're going to continue, and it automatically continues the video going to the next question, right? And then you can have as many or as few questions as you want. I'll pause that. And then like content, I mean, I guess I would say, I would encourage you to look around. So content, you can go to anything. You can search by like different channels. You can have a school account, the curriculum home, like it's a huge, huge thing. So for me, I just kind of wanted to expose you to, for me, the tools that I have been very, that have been helpful for me have been like Pear Deck, Edpuzzle, Jamboard, and then just obviously Zoom. So I gave you a little snapshot. There wasn't really time to go in depth on any of them. So I apologize if you have questions about them. My email, I'm just going to put it in the chat. And it will also be on the, I'll send the slides to Jessica and have her disseminate them. However, oops, I meant to send that to everyone. So that's my email. If you have questions or you, for some reason, don't get the slides from Jessica, please email me. I'm happy to share. I'm happy to help however I can. And if you have specific questions or need resources, I'm happy to help. So thanks for coming this morning. Hopefully it was helpful. You got a few things maybe to take away and bring back. So.
It was great.
All right. Okay.
If anyone
you.
hasn't typed their
Thank you.
individual name
welcome.
into the chat, please do so before you sign off. Jessica, Kate, that was awesome.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it.
I learned a lot of stuff.
I know. I was like, I couldn't just, I never know, like, it's hard to know whether to go quantity or quality. And I will say, I think that like the sense, I can appreciate now the sense of what it's actually like to not have the screens on the other side. So if I'm teaching, like I'm used to all screens on. And so it's like, you get no feedback, right? Like, are they with me? Do they like it? Do they need more of this? Like, so it's definitely, I think, more challenging if the screens aren't on, because you're like, okay, I hit the mark. I'm just going to keep going. So.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. If I can do anything else. So Jessica, I need to send you the slides. I did not do that before.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'll just share them with you and then they can share out.
Okay.
So.
I just have one quick question, okay, before you go. You were just talking right now about Edpuzzle. So
Yes.
you said that you were able to upload your own videos.
Yes.
And add the question. Okay, I'm going to look at that one.
Yeah, I can, I mean, it's easy. So let me screen share again. I'll show you how to do that. So in Edpuzzle, when you go to content, you go to to my content. And then when you add content over here, it's add content, and then you can upload a video or create a video. So if you've uploaded, you can upload, if you have your own, you can choose a file or from Drive. There's ways that you can upload your own. So yeah, that is, to me, that's like a game changer. For me, I didn't say it, but like there's a lot of content out there, but I think the students appreciate when it's you, right? So even if you say exactly the same thing another video said, or you demonstrate the same thing another video did, like it's you, and they're like, you're their teacher. And I think that's what separates people, is if it's you, like anyone, like any parent could sit there and Google something and find it and say, here kid, do this, right? But like the interaction and having you be the one delivering it, I think makes a difference. So yeah.
No, I agree. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to sign off.
Yep,
I don't think, Jessica, I don't think you need me for anything else. So everyone have a good day.
Okay. If anyone else needs anything, I am happy to hang out. Otherwise, and I go get ready for my classes when she's off. Do you need anything else, Jessica?
Nope, we're good. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.